in a seated meditation, and we're focusing on the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown chakra today. So really everything from the neck up. And to start this out, we'll start to call in more of a higher consciousness by moving into a meditation. So allowing yourself to find your chosen seat, be it in crisscross position, or maybe kneeling, or even if you prefer to lie down, that's an option too. Your eyes can be closed or open, that's your personal preference. But begin to notice your breath. We'll use this breath awareness throughout this entire 40 minutes today. To cultivate mind-body awareness. And start to visualize, once you have that breath in your mind's eye, visualize a bright indigo light in the space between your brows. Just noticing a spiraling energy, a circle forming. Now with every breath that you take, the circle becomes bigger and bigger. Continue to notice your breath here. This bright healing light. And forming an intention for today's practice that feels like you're speaking your most authentic truth. What would you want to say today that feels appropriate and strengthening for you to move into this week ahead? Maybe it's an I am statement. Then you choose your word that feels comfortable for you. We can use this mantra to really connect to our highest selves, both on and off the mat, but using this mantra as a sense of guidance as we take some physical postures for these next few moments that we have together. Take one more full breath here. Then exhale, sigh out. Wherever you're at in your chosen seat or lying down, we'll meet to find a child's pose. So starting to set up this child's pose today. Draw your knees wide, arms go forward, then really connect the third eye, the space between the brows, onto your mat. Maybe you want to move your forehead side to side, just to massage between each temple. And then on your next breath, start to thread that right arm underneath the left. It's creating some space in the back body. So all these poses that we'll do today have some relation to either the throat, the third eye, or even the crown. Knowing that the entire chakra system really works together, so it's quite intersectional. And slowly switch sides, unwind the arms. And come back towards child's pose. And then the next breath, start to shift forward towards a tabletop position. Then sit back into the heels. And we'll go for what's called toe crunch asana. So just getting a stretch into our feet. So tuck those toes, then continue to sit back so the weight of the glutes is onto the heels. We'll move into an upper body stretch as well, because we're going to really start to feel the energy in your feet. And moving into the upper body as well. Right arm underneath the left for eagle wrapped arms. So one interesting thing about eagle is that our gaze is blocked with the arms. So it's really a different gaze rather than physical gaze. We instead look more internally, paying more attention to our third eye. Slowly unwind the arms, eagle wrapped arms on the other side. I know you can also give yourself a hug just to wrap your arms around. Definitely already feel it in my feet. Slowly release, untuck the toes, interlace the hands behind the back this time. We're going to be coming on towards our crown for a modified rabbit pose. So drop that crown of the head down towards the mat. Continue to interlace your hands. And the hands can be more towards the tailbone if that feels better. Maybe you're sending the hands more towards the front of the mat. So I'm not really on top of my forehead. I tend to see that a lot when trying to find this position. We're on the very top of the head, the crown chakra. Slowly release from this stretch. Tabletop position is where we meet. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog, press back. And maybe you prefer to stay in tabletop instead. You can always come back down, knees down towards the ground. Or you can continue to lift the hips up. So even here, crown of the head is facing down towards the ground, stimulating more into the crown chakra, even in downward facing dog. Slowly walk your hands to meet your feet towards the back of the mat. Forward fold, hands around opposite elbows for ragdoll position. Just continue to relax your head as much as possible. And slowly rise up towards a standing position, head being the last to rise. Give yourself a couple of shoulder rolls. Relaxing more into the shoulders. And in this back bend, really concentrate more on opening up your throat towards the ceiling. So be really mindful of how much you're jamming your head towards the back. So hands towards the hips just to support your lower back. Press the hips forward, then start to ease up into your throat. Lift your head up. On your exhale, release the hands down towards the mat. Halfway lift, inhale, gaze forward. Walk out to find your high plank. On your next breath, lower all the way down towards the ground. Maybe you use your knees to get there. We'll meet to a Sphinx pose. So Sphinx with forearms down towards the mat. Inhale, gaze up, then lift the gaze, open up the throat. On your exhale, drop your chin down toward your chest. While you're here, if you'd like to move your neck side to side, then sometimes when we have a underactive throat chakra, we experience a lot of neck tension. Really, that's also a byproduct of the environment that we live in, especially being on the computer all day. So take that with a grain of salt. Your next breath, press into a cobra pose. Press the hands into the ground, lift your chest up. And lower back down. Tabletop position, press back. Send that right leg long and back, so lifting the leg up. And left arm goes forward for spinal balance. Continue to really try to keep that neck long as possible. So gaze even just slightly forward towards the front of your mat. And we'll switch sides, spinal balance, other side. Left leg goes long and back. Reach the right arm forward. Or you're just testing things out, connecting towards the core. Come back towards tabletop. Downward facing dog, press back. This time, take your gaze forward, walk all the way towards the top of the mat. Forward fold is where we meet. Again, ragdoll pose. This time, try to switch out the hands. So the opposite hand is now on top. It might kind of feel funky. Slowly release the hands down and rise all the way back up towards a standing position. Once again, you get towards the top. We'll move into another back bend. Hands towards the hips, press the hips forward, and lift your gaze, open up the throat. Exhale, forward fold, come all the way down. Halfway lift, inhale, hands towards the shins. Walk back towards your high plank again. We'll take a modified side plank, drop the right knee down. Use that right leg as a kickstand to open up. Any expression that you'd like here, maybe you want to gaze up towards the ceiling or gaze down towards the ground. Come back towards your plank position. Lower all the way down towards your belly. Inhale, cobra pose, lift up. Tabletop position, press back. Then we'll go towards spinal balance. Send the right leg long and back. Left arm goes long. A couple times just to draw your elbow and knee to connect together. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. Two more, exhale, round. Inhale, reach. Last time, exhale, round. Inhale, reach. Drop it down, switch sides. Left leg long, right arm forward. And practicing our balance here, finding equanimity. 3 times, exhale, draw in. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Inhale. Last time, exhale. Inhale, extend. Downward facing dog, press back. Shift back forward toward your high plank. Left knee goes down, modified side plank, open up. And any expression that you want to do with that top arm, maybe bicep out here. Drop your hand down, tabletop position. Lower back down, chaturanga. Cobra pose, lift up. Tabletop position, rise up. Downward facing dog, press back. We'll continue to move into a sequence now. Building slow, reach the right leg up. Step it forward, warrior two. So allowing those hips to open, T-shape through your arms. A lot of where we're practicing today is where our gaze is. This tendency is wherever our gaze goes, our energy flows, right? So where is your gaze? Where is your intention moving towards? Are you supporting yourself in your intention, even with just your physical sight? Take one more breath in your warrior two. Reverse your warrior, reach back. Allowing that right bicep to come by your ear. And cartwheel the hands down. Plank position, step back. We'll move back into that modified side plank. We've been here before. Left knee down. Open up. Right arm out. While you're here this time, if you'd like to lift that back leg up, you can. Or maybe you can grab for your back foot. Whatever variation you've taken, we'll meet back towards plank pose. Option to move through your chaturanga. Maybe you want to skip it. We'll meet downward facing dog, press back. Let's move now towards the other side. Left leg goes up. Warrior two, step it forward. And warrior two feet, set it up. Almost feels like you're on the surfboard. With your right foot more towards the 3 o'clock position, 4 o'clock position. Take one more full breath here. Warrior two, reverse. Cartwheel the hands down, frame that front foot, step it back, plank position. Then we'll drop that right knee down to modify your side plank pose. Open up. An option to play while you're here, to lift the left leg high, or maybe even grab your back foot. Last full breath. We meet back towards plank. Always knowing that you can add on or take away. You're adding, move through your chaturanga, up dog, lift the quads up off the mat, and downward facing dog, press back. We have that flow again. I'll give you a couple options here. Lift the right leg up. Warrior two, step it forward. T-shape through the arms. Reverse your warrior, reach back. Cartwheel the hands down. Side plank, either left hand down, right arm up, legs together, or you can drop the left knee down towards the ground, what we took last time. We'll take one more full breath here. Adding on your chaturanga, if that feels most supportive. We meet downward facing dog. Other side, left leg up. Step it forward, warrior two. Reverse your warrior, reach back. Cartwheel the hands down. Side plank, right arm down, left arm high. An option to drop the back knee if that feels best. An option to move through chaturanga, up dog. And this time, let's move towards child's pose. So allowing yourself to reconnect your third eye to the ground. A lot of times when we are moving so fast, even in a yoga class, and sometimes even off our mat in life, we miss a lot of what's going on in what our intuition is actually telling us. So allow yourself to get quiet for a couple breaths in this child's pose, resting your physical body, but also listening more internally to maybe that still small voice deep in your consciousness. So that could be, again, your intention that you're sharing with yourself, or it could be something that you've been leaning into to invite into your own experience. Your next breath, let's meet towards downward facing dog. We'll do a couple more standing postures. Gaze forward, step or jump towards the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Stand all the way up on the side and hands towards your heart center. We'll take eagle pose again because that's really requiring us to move towards our third eye, the spot of, again, intuition. This eagle pose, we block our face with the arms, and we have to take a deep internal gaze rather than focusing purely on the external. So to set up eagle pose, come into a chair first. So bend the knees. Then take that right leg over the left. You can drop your toes down on towards the ground or allow your foot to hover. To set up the arms, right arm underneath, either giving yourself a hug or lifting your arms up to block your face. Continue to sink down into the glutes. Take one more full round of breath. Slowly unwind, reach up, back towards chair pose. Right, again, eagle pose on the other side. Left leg over the right. Left arm underneath the right arm, either hugging as the option. You can drop your foot down towards a block or the ground. Keep squeezing into the inner thigh line. Having even a steady gaze, even when we can't see that far. Slowly unwind, inhale, reach up. And exhale, forward fold, hands down towards the ground. We meet towards the top of our mat if you're not there. Set that left leg back, take a low lunge, drop the knee. Inhale, reach your arms up. We'll move towards a side body stretch. So right hand's gonna be the grabber on your left wrist. So start to pull over towards your right side of your body. Just give you further reference of what that looks like. Release the hands. Left hand comes towards the outer edge of your right knee and reach that right arm back. Allowing your gaze to settle wherever you need it to be. Inhale, reach your arms back up. Downward facing dog, press back. Take a lion's breath from here. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, side out mouth. Take your gaze back forward, step or jump towards the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Take another standing position, rise all the way up. This time we'll move towards tree pose. So either kickstanding your right leg, maybe above the ankle or inner thigh line. And even in this posture, maybe you open up your throat more towards the ceiling, so it even feels like a slight back bend. Hands can be towards heart center. Maybe you want to expand your branches up. Or even close your eyes to practice that internal gaze again, moving more towards the third eye or even the crown chakra. Practicing that connection to your own higher power. Switch sides. Left foot now, either inner thigh line, maybe above your ankle. Again, great place to practice closing your eyes, experiencing one of the 8 limbs of yoga called pratyahara, or withdrawal of our senses. It helps us lead to this higher consciousness when we remove sensation from our body. Slowly release. Inhale, reach back up. Slowly front of the mat. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Step your right leg back. Drop the back knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up. So you have the same opportunity now on this side of our body to take the side body stretch and twist. Left hand's the grabber around your right wrist like a bracelet. And start to pull over towards your left side. Getting a stretch towards really the right side of your intercostal muscles, more towards your rib cage. Slowly release. Right hand now towards the outer edge of the left knee. Reach that left arm back. Continue to breathe nice and soft. Release, both hands down towards the ground. Downward facing dog, press back. All right, let's come down onto our glutes. So I'll be moving into headstand in just a couple minutes. So in order to prep for this pose, we'll move into our core to integrate really our powerhouse before moving into an inversion practice. And of course, I'll help move you into it and a couple different options that you can choose from. So come down onto your back, lift your legs up, hands down by your side body, and start to send that right leg down towards the ground, towards the hover. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, left leg. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left. Inhale. Exhale, right. Inhale, lift. Last time, exhale, left. Inhale, lift. And you can continue to hang out, going one leg each side or lower both legs down. Inhale, lift back up. 2 more times, exhale. Inhale. Last time, exhale. And inhale, lift. Draw your knees in toward your chest. And before we move out, let's take a twist. Drop your knees towards one side. Switch directions. Come back towards the center, give yourself another big hug. And rock forward up towards a comfortable seat. All right. So we haven't practiced headstand within these classes that we've been doing. So I'm going to give you tons of different options to choose from, choosing one that feels most supportive for your spine, but also whatever you feel comfortable with, okay? So for option 1, you can come back to the same variation that we did earlier, which was rabbit pose with the head connected towards the ground, where we had our hands over our head, weight shifted forward. So you can stay there as an option. If you're setting up for headstand, we start with the base first of our arms. So we have to make a basket for our heads to help support our neck, right? And a lot of it, the weight is actually not going to be on top of the head, even though it looks like it. We use the strength of our arms to press into the ground to lift up, okay? I'm going to take this step by step for you. So let's start onto our knees first. So take your elbows so that they're about shoulder width distance. Then hands are going to create that basket, so interlace the hands. Then settle that head, crown of the head on top. Then my hands are going to go towards the back of my head. So you can stay here the entire time. Technically, this is a headstand for sure. If you're wanting to move further, start to lift your hips up so it looks like you're in a downward facing dog. Then you can stay here the entire time. Just be mindful of your head. Again, if you'd like to move further, start to tiptoe those toes up. Lift one leg high. Maybe you stay here, or you can start to lift the other leg up. So even those options that I showed earlier are all available. But if you are lifting your legs up completely, continue to press the forearms into the ground. Be very mindful of your neck. We'll stay for one more full breath wherever you are. You had your legs up, go ahead and lower the legs down. In child's pose, relax. So that was definitely an adventure. Stay in child's pose, definitely give yourself a pat on the back. And whatever variation that you chose, just trying something different on. But headstand is really meant to stimulate more into the crown because our crown of the head is literally connected to the physical earth. And now we just allow ourselves to rest in child's pose. Lift up. Let's stretch the neck a little bit. Since we just moved into our headstand, and this also stimulates into your throat chakra since we are stretching the cervical spine. So take that left hand towards the outer edge of your right ear, and start to lean that left ear towards the left shoulder. So notice the different pressure that you're creating. At the same time that your head is pressing into your hand, press your hand into your head. So it's creating an opposite force to even strengthen your neck. Option to stay here. Maybe you add the right arm to extend it all the way out so your thumb is facing up. So you even feel a stretch into your SEM. Slowly switch out the hands. Right hand now towards the outer edge of your left ear. Start to move your head over towards your right side. Continue to connect with those opposing forces. Head presses into your hand presses into your head. So you're finding equanimity. Option, take that left hand all the way out now. Slowly release. Both hands cradle it like you just did in that headstand. Concave the elbows down. Chin towards your chest. And very similar to the cueing that we just did, press your head into your hands and hands into your head. Inhale, lift your gaze, lift the chin up towards the ceiling, open up the elbows. Drop your hands down. We'll find downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up towards the ceiling, bend your knee, open your hip. Lizard lunge, step it forward. Just getting into a bigger hip opener. Even here, leading with the throat, leading with the heart. Crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Not here for too long. Step back towards your plank. Maybe you move towards downward facing dog or Adho Vinyasa in between. Chaturanga, up dog. to down dog. Other side, left leg comes up, then the knee open. Step it forward, lizard lunge. And really here, only about 3 to 5 breaths. Last breath. Step it back towards your plank. Lower all the way down towards the belly. We'll take one back bend of locust, helping to stimulate in towards the throat. Lift your chest, lift your arms, lift your legs. Take one more full breath and exhale, lower down. Easy transition here, just flip onto your back. Just allowing yourself to roll over. We'll take one more back bend of bridge pose. Ground your feet down, press your hips up. In pretty short bridge, allowing you to create space into your lower back. Slowly lower down. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Big tight squeeze. And Shavasana is where we meet. We'll hold this pose for just a couple breaths here, about a minute or two. Very similar to how we opened up the practice. We'll move into a guided visualization. This time, imagining a light at the very top towards the crown. A bright violet light. With every breath, it begins to wash over you. It goes all the way down your body. Continuing to envision this bright violet light. A light that feels very soft and calming for your body. Allowing it to bathe you from head to toe. Take just a couple more breaths in and out through your nose. We're going to add on some movement to begin to exit out of your Shavasana today. We'll meet into another comfortable seat, sealing our hands towards our heart. We'll close it out with the sound of Om. Really cleansing sound for all of our chakras. Take a cleansing breath first. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Thank you so much. Continue to practice learning about the chakras. Maybe you moved into the throat chakra, third eye, or even the crown. Maybe one resonated with you more than the other. But just continue to offer curiosity wherever you go.